everyone. Wow, I actually got it right this week. I can't believe it. Look at this. The camera's the right thing. The lighting is correct. Everything is good. Wow, I actually did the weekend preview correctly for once. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Tonight is Sunday, September 6, 2015. I'm Darkside Phil, and welcome to the weekend preview. We are now in the second week of September. We're moving firmly ahead in this hardcore gaming season. We're right in the middle of several different playthroughs and projects. So what I want to do in this weekend preview is get everyone up to speed. I want to explain to everyone what's been going on, let you know what to expect this coming week. I know there's a lot of questions about when am I going to see, when is this going to happen, when is this going to happen, so I want to try to clarify as much of that as possible as I can in this video, okay? Before we get started with the schedule and explanations of projects and everything, very briefly, thank you to those of you who pledged to my Patreon account in the month of August. FYI, you know, August ended, so that window has closed, and this week, everyone who's pledged was basically getting processed by Patreon. Now, I once again, as usual, this first week of the month, kind of play it by ear to see, gee, I wonder if we're going to hit all of our goals. The good news is we hit all the goals for August. So, yes, at the end of September, we're going to have a Indies mini marathon, which is going to be awesome. I haven't done one in a few months, and I'm very excited to do that, and there'll be more info forthcoming on that. However, as usual, there was a lot of people who were declined when they were getting their pledges charged, and I don't know what the reasoning, why this happens every month. Some people, it's happened more than once. Some people, they pledge and it just never goes through. FYI, if you were declined, I sent you a message on Patreon. You must fix your info within the next couple of days, because by the end of this coming week, I'm going to be working on the perks. So if you were a patron in the month of August, your perks are coming shortly. Within about a week's time, I'll be processing and working on all of those for you, okay? So, in particular, I wanted to throw that out there and let everyone know, because I know some people had questions about, gee, are we going to be doing the Indies Marathon this month, and will there be a montage this month? And yes, the good news is there will be a montage in the month of September. It's going to be the best and worst of DSP Classics, Alan Wake. Yes, it was actually Alan Wake, which the patrons voted on throughout the month of August and nominated as the next DSP Classics playthrough. Now, I have to say this. This is a little different than the last one that I did. If you remember when I did Start the Party, that was, not Start the Party, excuse me. When I did TV Superstars, that was the last DSP Classics montage that I did. That was a short playthrough. It was just like, I think around 20 parts or so. So once I went through all those videos, which took me, you know, a couple hours, I was able to pick out the funniest parts and make the edited videos. Unfortunately, Alan Wake is a longer playthrough than that. We're talking 5+ hours, if I remember correctly. I think it was like 6-7 hours of a playthrough. And that's great because the game was good, but let's face it, Alan Wake I played in what, 2009, 2010? I don't really remember much of the playthrough. I remember a few minor things, like I remember the power going off. I remember one or two funny things in the forest, although I have no idea what parts of the playthrough that was. So, really, I couldn't easily go back and make this montage series. So, FYI, I have made a thread on thekingofhate.com in the playthrough section of the forums, where I please am invoking you, please, please, please post up your favorite moments of the playthrough, because people want to see this montage series is what they voted for, but sorry, I don't have 8 hours to sit here and watch my own playthrough, you know what I mean? You are the guys and gals who watched that playthrough, and quite honestly, you probably have a lot more of a recollection of your favorite parts of that playthrough than I do. So, rack your brains, think back, head to the forums, nominate your favorite moments, and I'll use that as a guideline as I jump around the videos later this month when I start working on that montage series. And you may say, well, when is that going to happen? That's going to happen probably the middle to second half of September, because right now I'm really kind of applying myself to play the games that I'm playing, which we're going to talk about in a moment. One thing I'm sure people in the comments are going to say, oh my god, look at Phil's goatee. It's grown out. It's much bigger. For a while there, he had a very small goatee, and now it's big again. I wonder what happened. People think that all these crazy conspiracies, like I'm going bald on my face or something. No. Here's really what happened. Last year, a year ago, when I moved across the country, I remember I was shaving at one point, and I misshaved. Like, I shaved wrong, and because of that, I trimmed my goatee too small. And I didn't want to have it look weird where I was growing patches of the goatee out, but I never really thought about it. It was never, like, at the tip of my mind. And it's hilarious when I watch comments on these, like, vlog videos, like the weekend preview. Phil's goatee looks like shit. It looks like he's got bald patches in his goatee. It's so stupid. Makes no sense. Obviously, it's just I shaved it wrong, right? And I never grew out my beard to regrow the goatee. Well, this past week, I was sick. Remember, I had 3 days off last week where I was just dying sick, couldn't do work. So I wasn't filming, I wasn't doing nothing. So I grew out the beard, and by the end of this week here, because I knew I wasn't going to do any vlogs or anything this week, I grew it out, and then I finally shaved it. So as you can see, I've got my original goatee back. Yes, it's back and it's in its original form, and I'm going to try to conform it to this shape from now on. Although you might notice there's some white hairs in there. Those aren't patches. A lot of people say there's patches. That's not patches. Those are actually white hairs. You know, I'm getting older. I'm 33 years old, and you know, I'm gonna start getting white hairs. It's just, that's it. You know, I'm heading towards my middle age at this point, so we'll see. Hopefully I can retain and have a full, imagine that if by the end of the year I have like a full white goatee. But anyway, I know that has nothing to do with the schedule. I knew people would bring it up that, oh, Phil's goatee's bigger, right? Alright, so let's talk about this week. Let's talk about what you can expect. First of all, I'm going to tell you right up front what not to expect this week. Number one, don't expect Ask the King. I'll be honest with you guys, because I am in the middle of tons of long playthroughs and stuff. I don't know if we're going to have an Ask the King this month. Or, I'm sorry, this week, or even in the next few weeks. What I might do, I know there was no episode of Ask the King in August, as I had planned on doing because I was sick. I'm thinking maybe I'll just do one in late September, near the end of the month. And any questions that were patron questions, where people pledged $20 or more, I'll answer all of those in one big grouping in that episode. Plus, I think it'll be good because I'll have more questions to pull from. Ultimately, it makes the show a little bit better when I have more questions. So, I'll tell you this. There already is a thread on thekingofhate.com to post up your questions for Ask the King. Please post up your questions continuously in that thread. You'll see it says, will be rescheduled for September. Post up in that one. And eventually, when I settle in for the date, I'll change it and I'll let everyone know. But it's looking like, yes, it's probably going to be either late September and or early October for the next episode of Ask the King. All right? And that might be the last one for this month, this year. I'm not sure. We have to see how busy I am with other games. But I think I might be able to squeeze one in November as well. Okay. So that's Ask the King. Will not happen this week, FYI. The Until Dawn review should happen sometime this week. And what I mean by that is, after I film the weekend preview right now, I'm actually going to film the spoken word vlog style portion, meaning me talking to the camera for Until Dawn. But tonight, there's no way I'm going to have time to edit the whole thing. It takes several hours to edit one of these reviews. And this week, I'm going to be bogged down with gameplay all week. Like, at least 4 days, I'm doing double streams. What I'm thinking of is this coming Friday, what I'll do is I'll do one gameplay stream, and then instead of a second gameplay stream, I'll edit the Until Dawn thing. I'll do patron stuff, and maybe I'll even work a little bit on getting stuff together for that best and worst of Alan Wake montage, okay? So that's what I'm thinking, is this Friday night, instead of, oh, another gameplay stream, take some time out, finish the Alan Wake review, oh boy, finish the Until Dawn review, and do a few other things, work on a few other things for patrons and stuff like that, okay? So, yes, the Until Dawn review is coming this week. I'm working some of it tonight, and probably some of it later in the week, and hopefully I'll have it released for you by the weekend, alright? I have some interesting things to say about that game. I really do. I think some people will be surprised what I have to say about Until Dawn. But we'll see, okay? Now, as you can probably hear right now, I'm sounding a little bit better. I still got this really nasty cold symptom going on that's kind of really just nasty drippiness down the back of my throat. And it is annoying me. But I'm getting a little bit better every single day. I'm hoping by the end of this week, I'll be in tip-top shape, which will be great. Because, as you know, there's tons of games coming out shortly. Let's talk about this week, what I'll be playing, and what I won't be playing, so there's no misconceptions. And then we'll talk a little bit about the future, the rest of the month. Alright? So, this week, what am I doing? I will be continuing Metal Gear Solid 5. I'll be continuing with Mad Max. And this week, after having a little bit of a hiatus there, I'm going to begin mixing in Fallout New Vegas again into the gameplay schedule. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're going to have 2 streams a day of one of those, or 2 of those 3 games. Alright? And then come the weekend, you know, I only do 1 stream on Friday, like I just told you, because Friday, second half of the day, I'll be working on the Until Dawn review. Saturday and Sunday, yes, I only do 1 stream those days, but with good reason. You know, Saturday I'm out doing errands, and Sunday I'll be doing the weekend preview like right now, and also after that, I'll probably be working on things like the best and worst of Alan Wake and stuff like that. So, we're talking, well, 11 gameplay streams this week. If I alternate between those games evenly, each game should be played around 3 to 4 times this week, which I think will be perfect, okay? How's it going to work? What's the schedule? Well, I don't want to commit to anything 100%, because there may be a day where I have a craving to play one of them over the other, or maybe there's a big development in one game and I want to play it more right away rather than another. What I will tell you is this Monday, the 7th of September, the first stream of the day will be Mad Max, and the second stream will be more Fallout New Vegas, okay? That obviously means that Tuesday, I'm probably going to want to return to Metal Gear Solid 5, so I'll probably do that on first stream on Tuesday, and then second stream may be one of those games. Wednesday, then, obviously, will be dependent on what I choose for Tuesday, and so on and so forth. So, 4 days straight, alternating between those 3 games. This coming Friday, Mario Maker, Super Mario Maker is coming out, and I want to check this game out. I'm interested in it. When I was a kid, I've said this in a few videos now, when I was a kid, I was actually interested in designing my own Mario levels. I actually had this like big drawing art paper, long ass paper, and I would draw in mini little Mario levels from Super Mario Brothers 1 of, man, if I could make my own level, I wonder if this is what I would want it to look like. I have a jump pad here and enemies here and this and that. And it was cool for me to do that when I was a kid. It was like, I felt like I was a game creator. And I'll be honest with you, I never really had that craving in any other game besides Super Mario. And all of a sudden, Mario Maker is actually coming out. So what I want to do this Friday, when it releases, I'm going to go pick it up. Yes, I am going to be playing Mario Maker this Friday. I'm going to be messing around with it on my Wii U. And we're going to see exactly what happens. You know, if people like it or not. It'll be a session, right? I may play it more the next week or over the weekend if people are liking it and they want to see me do more. If anything, what I might do is make 1 or 2 levels myself, mess around with the tools and stuff for exploration of the game, and then maybe jump online and see some of the levels that people have been making. I'm sure they'll have some kind of a system where you can see what people have made and maybe see what's been voted the highest, similar to like Little Big Planet had, and maybe check some of those out. And if I go like super in-depth or not will determine on the feedback. Do people like the content? Are they enjoying it or not? One quick thing. Don't worry, I know there's been all this controversy around the internet about Nintendo's going to content ID claim everyone on this game. I am a managed partner with Machinima. They vouch for me, therefore I don't get content ID matches. I could get copyright strikes, which is the issues that I had these past few weeks. And by the way, good news, those copyright strikes are completely cleared up, so I have nothing negative against any of my channels on YouTube whatsoever. I'm in the clear. Thank you to those of you who were very patient when I could not live stream. Thanks to Machinima for working with YouTube to getting that stuff cleared up. Awesome, right? So because I'm a managed partner with Machinima, I'm able to do Mario Maker coverage, and I don't have to worry about them content ID matching all of my videos. So don't worry, whatever content I put out of that game will be fully monetizable, and I won't have to worry about, oh no, I can't make a living now because Nintendo claims all the ad revenue on the videos of their games, which is fucking preposterous. So that's going to be this Friday, and then the weekend will be dependent on if people like Mario Maker, you want to see more, or maybe, you had a day away from Metal Gear, go back to Metal Gear, yada, yada, yada. All right? So there's a couple things I didn't mention that for this week that I want to throw out there to let you know what's going on. I did not mention Tearaway Unfolded. This is the re-release, remaster of the game Tearaway, which was actually very popular on the PS Vita a couple years back, made by the same people who made Little Big Planet. And I am interested in playing the game, but with the fact that I've got Metal Gear Solid 5, Mad Max, Fallout, and yes, I'm going to try out Mario Maker this week, I don't want to put another game in there. I think that would be insane suicide. Like, I know from experience now, last year at the end of the year, there were 2 weeks where there were like 7 new games that came out. And I said, I'm going to play them all, and I tried to alternate between them all. It flopped miserably because people were like, you're playing too much at once. We want more of the game we want to see right away. And because you're not doing it, I lost attention. I couldn't retain the viewership. And by the time that I was at the end of long playthroughs like Dragon Age, Inquisition, no one was watching anymore. I don't want to do that. I want to be focusing on only a small amount of games, maybe 3 tops, so that I can actually give attention to them. Now, Fallout New Vegas is a downtime playthrough, so that's actually not a big deal that I'm not focusing on it all the time. But I want to be consistently playing Metal Gear Solid 5 and Mad Max at least every couple of days, a few times a week, so I can get through those games by the end of the month. Because it is ultimately my goal that by the end of September, I've completed Fallout New Vegas, Metal Gear Solid 5, and Mad Max, alright? No matter what else I may play this month, whether I delve with Mario Maker, I end up playing Tearaway or not, later this month there's other games like Soma, the survival horror game, and then later on in the month I might try out the new Tony Hawk game. Ultimately, my goal is to finish those 3 games by the end of the month, and if I've done that, then I feel like I've done my job and I've accomplished what I meant to do this month, alright? I don't think anyone fathomed that Metal Gear Solid 5 was going to be a 50 to 100 hour game. At this point now, I've played around 15 hours, but in 1 week. So you figure another week, maybe I'll have put in another 10 to 15 hours. Another week, another 10 to 15 hours. So hopefully by the end of the month, I'll have beaten it. Mad Max, I've heard, is pretty long, but I don't know how long. I'm sure it's not 50 hours long. But I'm liking the game, and I'm playing it at my own pace, and I hope that everyone who is watching that playthrough is enjoying it. I'll be honest, I am disappointed that a lot of people are just saying, this month is Metal Gear month, I don't care about anything else. And I'm like, but Mad Max is pretty good. It's a unique combination of different kinds of gameplay. It ties in with the movie. I just saw the movie this past week and really liked it, and I like that I can make references now to stuff I saw in the movie. And so people forget it. If it's not Metal Gear, I don't care about it in the month of September. I hate that attitude. You gotta have a more open mind. Even if you just give 2 videos a look, okay, I don't like the game. But so many people have this closed-minded mentality that I'm not gonna check out anything unless it's the big overhyped thing, right? That's a shame. I mean, I'm happy if you are watching the Metal Gear Solid 5 playthrough, and that's all you're watching. Great, but I wish people would give other stuff a chance. I mean, Until Dawn, let's face it, people are telling me my Until Dawn playthrough is one of the best playthroughs I've done in years. Like, it's a return to classic me. People were absolutely saying, it's a must-watch if you're a fan of me. That's an awesome feeling to hear that from fans who maybe haven't even watched my stuff in a while, and they came back to watch the playthrough. And let me tell you, oh my god, that playthrough's got ridiculous views. You guys are awesome. I love it. I mean, I love the game. I'm happy that I played the game the way that I did honest commentary. I'm happy that you liked the fact that I played it twice, different ways. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. But if you gave that game a shot, why wouldn't you give... Nope, Metal Gear Solid 5's out. Metal Gear Solid 5, that's all I want to talk about to this month. Metal Gear Solid 5, and that's how people are. I don't know. I don't get it. Me, I'm always willing to give anything a shot, but it looks like, just to give you some perspective, less than half the amount of people who watched my Metal Gear Solid 5 playthrough so far have checked out any of the videos of Mad Max. It's got about half the viewership. That's silly in my opinion. At least give it a chance, but I digress. Alright, so that's kind of the idea. So I'm not doing Tearaway this week because that would be silly. We need to start another playthrough this week. I mean, I would have no room to fit it. Maybe by the end of the month, if I do finish up with the game, and I have time to do it, then I'll do it. But I'm not going to make any promises there. I certainly don't want to start up with a new game when I don't have a chance to really jump into it. Maybe I'll hold off on it and something, maybe as things get slower or into next month, if there's a slow week, maybe I'll play it then. Okay? The Godfather co-op playthrough. Yeah, I know, everyone. Let's face it. At this point, that playthrough kind of is a little screwed. And what I mean by that is if you've watched all the videos, you know we played this throughout the entire month, half of July and all of August. We had planned to finish it by the end of August. We actually put in extra time to try to finish it by the end of August. Like, I played 3 extra hours than I thought I was going to. I still didn't beat it because the final mission of the game is insanely, ridiculously difficult. I'm pretty sure if I played it for about another 1 to 2 hours, I could beat it. But right now, I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of people clamoring for that. They want to see the current games. So eventually, Leanna and I will take a day, maybe a Saturday, coming up, where we will actually finish the game and do the co-op commentary. But at this point, again, it's not going to be this week. I don't want to promise anything to anyone of when it's going to be. We have to wait for it to slow down a little bit, or at least for me to get more meatily into these games that I'm playing, all right? So, to recap, ladies and gentlemen, patrons, please check Patreon. Make sure your pledges went through. If it didn't, you only have a couple days left to update your info, and then I'm going to start working on the perks by the end of this week for people who pledged in August, okay? Please nominate your funniest and favorite moments from the Alan Wake playthrough on the kingofhate.com forums. I really need everyone's feedback on that so that I can make that series as good as it will be, and that's going to start around roughly the middle to late September. This week in particular, don't expect Tearaway Unfolded, alright? Don't expect The Godfather, because I'm already ingrained in so much other stuff that it's not enough time. However, do expect the Until Dawn review by the end of the week. Do expect many more sessions of Metal Gear Solid 5, Mad Max, Fallout New Vegas, and some Mario Maker by the end of the week. And outside of all that, this rest of this month, when I look at the actual calendar, it looks to me like Soma is coming out, not next week, but the week after. And it looks to me like at the end of the month, we've got that one day when it's NBA 2K and Tony Hawk. At this rate, with the fact that these games I'm playing are so long, I'm leaning strongly against playing NBA 2K this year. I'm thinking maybe I'll just play Tony Hawk and finish off with other games I'm still playing at that point and haven't beaten yet, alright? Expect reviews when I start finishing these games up. Yes, I will be reviewing them, but I have to finish them up before I can do that, okay? I don't want to jump the gun and try to review a game before I feel like giving it a fair shake. That's why I wanted to play Until Dawn a second time and experience the other kind of side of the story before I reviewed the game fully, because I didn't want to kind of jump the gun and say, wow, I really like the first playthrough, but what's the replayability? I don't know, let me review it now. That wouldn't have made sense, okay? Outside of all that, I'm in a good mood. I mean, I am. I love the hardcore gaming season, regardless of the fact that I feel shitty, my neck, everything, you know. Right now, it's sore right here. If I touch right here, inside my throat, it hurts because I got this fucking drippage coming down my throat. And it sucks, you know. But I'm happy. I got my streaming capabilities back. The copyright strikes are gone. Views are pretty good right now. People seem to be tuning in every day. By the way, I'm using the new YouTube gaming streaming. I don't know how many of you have noticed this or not. I am using YouTube gaming on a daily basis to stream now. I have absolutely no idea if I'm even going to get paid for any of it because the way it works is so ambiguous and different from the old way that I used to stream. But the streams show up faster now. More people are saying it's available to watch, and it's easier to watch it on the YouTube gaming app than it was earlier. My viewership seems to be pretty good every day that I stream on this thing. So I really have no complaints right now. Things are going pretty good. FYI, the final thing I'll say in this video, well, I'll give two gratuitous plugs, okay? Number one, I am going to be updating my Patreon for the month of September shortly. You know, you see the link over here. You can check it out now if you want, but nothing's updated for the month of September yet. This month in particular, if you've been waiting to pledge, this might be the month you want to pledge because there's a special event I'm going to do it in late October where the patrons are going to nominate and vote on a fun marathon I'm going to do. I think people are going to love the idea. I can't wait to see what people start nominating for this idea, but I'll get to that. I don't want to spoil it yet. I'm going to get to it in a little bit, but this is going to be an awesome month for Patreon, but I haven't updated it or anything yet. You'll hear me talking more about it as we get further into the month, especially by the end of this week when I start working on everyone else's perks, and those are out of the way that for August, then I can work on September, okay? Outside of all that's funny because I guarantee you there's still stuff I haven't mentioned. Like I have a Duke Nukem statue this week that's up for sale, and you know there's all these things that I'm doing constantly. It's hard for me to even keep them all in my mind of when you know, did I talk about it all in the video. Podcast. Some people ask me when am I going to do the next Hate Live podcast. I don't know. I'll probably tell you it'll probably be not this week coming, maybe the week after, or maybe the week after that. So either the next to last or last week of September, I'll probably do a podcast that will cumulatively cover all the games that I've been playing and talk about some events and things, you know, news and stuff that's been going on. But I don't have time right now. I'm in so many games right now, 50-hour-long freaking games that I have to keep plugging away at the games. I don't want to fall so far behind that now I'm playing these games in October when there's other new games coming out. That could be a nightmare. That could be the worst possible thing. I have to dedicate myself. I have to tough through this sickness and play as much as I can and get as far as I can, and that's my goal for you, all right? That's really it for the weekend preview, everyone. FYI, no patron crawl this week because the patrons haven't fully processed yet. Like I said, next week we'll have the patron crawl, the thank you to the August patrons. I thank everyone here for watching the weekend preview. Please spread the word so people check out the weekend preview. I've actually noticed the past 2 weeks the weekend preview has gotten really good views. So that's good. It means that more people are watching, and that means that, you know, more people are in the know on what I'm doing, and that's a great feeling. FYI, if things do change with my schedule, or if you want to know the concrete games I'm playing every day, check out my Twitter, at they call me DSP. That's where nightly I put up an updated schedule, so you'll always know what I'm going to be up to the next day. All right? That's it, everyone. Peace out. Thank you for watching the weekend preview. I really appreciate it. I'm excited for all the new gameplay this week. I hope to see you on stream. If I don't, I hope to see you on the videos on YouTube. Peace out, everyone. Have a good night. I will see you for gameplay very soon.